the fuck you wanna be? Like I am what I am, I'm just saying. Homie, this is me. If only you could see, this is who I am, man. Understand? You can choose to be who the fuck you wanna be.
Yo, what's up everyone? I've had a few people hit me up recently asking a couple of questions on, like marketing advice, advertising advice, where artists should and shouldn't be putting their money. So I just wanted to make a series about it because I've definitely been meaning to make a few episodes on like marketing strategies and advertising and stuff like that. I feel like I'm just gonna incorporate this into advice for artists. In the same way I did team building, just put it under marketing. For the first episode, I want to talk about a pretty important marketing and advertising strategy, and something that all artists will probably encounter or have to deal with: PR marketing packages. For those that don't know what that is, there are companies out there that offer their services, essentially market and pitch your music or projects, whether it's a single or a mixtape or an album, to the connections and the networks that they know. Usually it is, either radio pitching, which is a pretty common one, and also curators and playlists pitching, to Spotify, Apple Music, and stuff like that. So yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about our experience with it, and the benefits and the negatives that in my own opinion. The two big things and the benefits that you can get from this are, the obvious one is the connections that these companies or individuals or services have. Now, obviously, most of them have been in the industry, whether it's an individual or a team or a company, have been in the industry for many, many years, and what they're selling is essentially their contact list, their mailing list, or their funnel list that they have built over the years through relationships and connecting with people. So that's something you can't get as an upcoming artist, at least not straight away. That's something you have to work on. So that's the first initial basis. That's what you're pretty much paying most of the lump sum for their networks, for their list of people to pitch to. Another bonus is the time consumption, the time that you're saving, and kind of the weight off your shoulders, especially if you don't have a team yet as an upcoming artist, to be handling your PR, marketing your music and pitching it, whether that's through emails and stuff, to blogs, to radios and stuff like that. It's a very, very time consuming thing. Very, very time consuming. I guess to cough up that cash, you're also paying to take that time off your hands and to focus more on the things that are more important for you, that you need to be focused on. The third benefit, and this isn't the guaranteed one, but if per se you do get pitched and get accepted, it can potentially lead to great exposure. You might get accepted from one of their pitches for a radio. You might get national radio spins, local radio spins. You might get some write-ups and blogs. You might get on an awesome playlist on Spotify. So that can be also the benefit of going with a PR campaign. But that is never guaranteed. So keep that into consideration. We've never used a PR service, a PR package campaign. We've contacted many companies and people over the past year and a half, and gauged different quotes for things, and they're all very similar in my opinion. First thing I noticed with PR marketing packages, whether it was just for a single or for albums, obviously albums being more expensive than singles, was the price range for these packages and these campaigns. I tend to find them quite overpriced. At the end of the day, it's all relative to how much capital you have, how much you have for your budget. But I'm going on the basis that for an upcoming artist, the average upcoming artist, having a lot of money to play around with isn't really a real thing. And I'm also going to put that into perspective. Something we've experienced is not a lot of money to play around with. So the package campaigns can be a bit daunting and expensive for someone who's just starting out or hustling on a side job trying to get their music. So that would be the first kind of negative and thing that I would say that you have to take into consideration. There's no consistency with it. They're usually one-off things. Unless you have a lump sum supply of regular income coming in, you're only going to be able to use these services every now and again. In my opinion, it's better to just grind it out and actually build your own connections and build your own networks. I mean, obviously, like you guys obviously know our story by now, and it's that independent grind and just kind of having the leverage and control of everything. I feel like the best option in the long term and longevity is building all these connections and networks yourself, and actually spending the time to grind out your own funnel list and build these relationships with, music directors and radio stations, whether it's trying to hustle and find curators or people working that have Spotify playlists or Apple Music playlists, and writers of blogs. I feel like the longevity and the long bag is building that yourself. The only thing is it just takes time and hustle. So the real question is, are you willing to put in the work to save yourself the money, but not only to save yourself money, but to then build your own connections and your own network list, which then you won't have to rely on a PR campaign for your upcoming releases. I feel like that's the longevity, and those are the main reasons we have never used a PR campaign. Is just because we thought, A, it's too expensive, B, nothing's guaranteed, C, why not build it ourselves? Having that connection and relationship with these individuals is the longevity right there. Some of the things that I'm saying might not be relevant for you, and that's it. You just got to you got to research this. In saying all that, I will say that I do know someone who runs a PR company. Shout out to Fitzy, who runs Groundwork PR. The work that they're putting in for their artists seems to be paying off tenfold. So when I say things are not guaranteed, look, it varies. It differs for different companies and stuff like that. That comes into your research. So, but using Groundwork PR as an example, they seem to be a company that are showing consistent results for their artists. So it really is a balanced thing. Do you have the money? Do you have the time? And once again, you can trial and error these things. There's nothing wrong with testing something. Maybe you want to trial and error a single with a certain PR company and see what they can do for you and see how well they can pitch your music. So never be afraid to try and negotiate. Dip toes in the water, not eggs in the basket. PR services is definitely something that you're going to have to look into, or at least kind of think about, or you'll come across at some point in your career. Yeah, just do your research and find what works for you. Not everything works the same for different people. Some people are on different journeys, different perspectives. Just find what you think's the best option and just go with it and trial and error. Alrighty, thank you guys. Appreciate it. I hope that helps someone. I'm looking forward to making a few of these episodes. I'm going to be talking on a lot of topics, whether it's Google AdWords, Instagram, Facebook marketing, different services to market your music, what you should be paying for. I'm going to definitely talk about a lot of these things. If there's something you specifically want me to talk about, hit it in the comments, hit me in the DMs, and I'll try and offer some value if I have some experience in that section. Big love, guys. I'll see you in the next episode.
Monday come around, she on a calm now, but she told me she never popped a pill. I should never trust her. Fuck is she?